Hello students, in the last video we have discussed the chemical origin of life, the theory that was proposed by the two scientists Oparin and Halton, and its experimental proof was given by two other scientists. They were Urey and Miller. So Urey and Miller's experiment on the glass rod apparatus to find out whether from the chemicals the biomolecules, they are the precursors of life, can be originated or not, and successfully they have done, and it was proof that yes, life was originated not from the living thing, not from the non-living thing or from the outer space. It is from the chemicals that has already existed on the earth in that situation where the temperature was around 600 degrees Celsius in the reducing environment, that is in absence of oxygen, in high temperature and continuous light and thundering. Because of those reasons, life could originate on the earth. And the first region where the life was originated is under the seas and oceans. So yes, those part we have completed. After that we will see the evolution of the life forms. That means we found that already life can be originated from the chemicals. Then after that we have to know also that how is it possible that number of species we get and evolution have taken place. If you see human evolution, then right from the four-footed furred animal, now the existing human morphology, they are different from the apes to human. What is that evolution? What is the course of evolution? What is the main reason for evolution? Everything we need to know. But first of all, we need to know that what is the cause of the evolution? What is the reason why our organism evolve? And what is the reason why, or what is the impact on the species so that they have to evolve? So all those things, they were given by one scientist, famous scientist. He was Charles Darwin. You already know about Darwin's theory. So Darwin's theory is also known as the Darwin's theory of natural selection. So he proposed actually the theory of natural selection. He was a scientist. He was working as a scientist to see and to find out the tetrapodal organism, the different biodiversity around the west coast of America. He found actually a number of varieties of species on an island. That island was Galapagos Island. So he was on a sail ship. The name of the ship also sometime come, that is HMS Beagle. So first of all, to identify the different varieties of species, he went on a sail, he went on a cruise actually on the seas and oceans, and he found an island. That island was named as Galapagos Island. Okay, so the name of the Galapagos Island. Okay, so the name of the island is the Galapagos Island, where he found a number of species, number of bird species actually. So Darwin observed all existing life forms share some common characteristics between the different looking birds. So he, at that time there was no discovery, or there was no invention of camera, so he was not able to click the photos. So at that time he was, that Galapagos Island actually, it is a very small, 22 small group of islands, and in those islands actually he was observing the bird species. He have drawn the bird species, so there are different varieties of birds were present. But whenever he saw the minute observation that he went through and he have drawn all those pictures, he was able to find out some common characteristics. Though the birds were different, though morphologically they are different, then also they were sharing some common characteristics. Okay, so this is the meaning of this line. Between the different looking birds, they may share the common ancestors. He first of all found a reason that might be in that Galapagos Island, maybe it flew from the America, then after that it actually started to exist in the Galapagos Island, and after that, due to a number of varieties of reason, it get diverse and form different varieties of birds. So obviously it was developed from a common origin, that is an ancestor. So from the ancestor, as it was originated, different birds of different birds or varieties have originated? So we can say that yes, because they have the common ancestor, they have originated. So that's why they are going to share some common characters. If that organism, suppose that bird have get separated from the earlier period of time, then obviously they will have little similarities. And recently, if they get separated and form two species, then obviously they are going to have more common characteristics. So this is also an important point. So after that, what was the reason for all those? He said that this is the concept of natural selection. So why actually from the common ancestors the organism that has to diversify and they have to form different species? That was the question. So he found that maybe it is the natural selection. That means nature have some impact on the species, right? And that's why they have to adapt so that they can survive in that surface, or so that they can eat or exist. That's why they have to change their morphology, physiology, everything, and then after that different species of varieties of birds exist. So what were those impacts? Okay, so it is said that nature poses some challenges. What are the challenges? See, first of all, the space. Okay, because in the small island, if a number of birds have to live, then obviously there will be a scarcity of space, which is also now in India also it is prevalent, it is having going on, because scarcity of space can lead to severe impact on the species. Then after that, food. Okay, if in a small area, if a number of birds have to live and their food is not increasing, then what will happen? In between them there will be a struggle for existence. Okay, so for the space and the food, they will have the struggle for existence. Okay, then after that they will also have some other problems like the flood, okay, then drought, okay, so or earthquake. So this type of problems, this type of natural calamities also can come and had come. So because of the space, food, scarcity of all those available sources for a living organism to survive, they had to face a number of challenges, and because of those challenges they have to diversify. And this is said that first of all, that ancestor of the bird who are actually living on the Galapagos Island, it was a grain eating crow-like bird. It was small, just like a crow. It was a grain eating bird. But in the small island, a number of organisms start to reproduce, then the number of the species will start to increase. But whenever it was started to increase, what had happened, that there was a scarcity of food. If all of the birds have to eat the same type of food, how they can survive? Isn't it? One bird will get the less food, and due to that they have to die. And whenever they had this scarcity of food, then after that they start to go for different food habit. Like from the same grain eating bird, they were diversified into different 5 varieties of birds. They start to take the worms, they start to take the ants, they start to even fish eating, a number of cactus eating, then the other type of worms they start to take, and this way number of varieties of birds appear. So first of all, if they start to have different food, okay, then obviously their beak structure have to be different, isn't that? Suppose a grain eating bird, obviously their beak will be different from a bird who is a carnivore bird. Okay, if it is suppose a predator, it is different. If it is suppose worm eating, or suppose ant eating bird, obviously their big size have to be different. That means they, whenever start to take different food, their morphological structure also start to change. And whenever all the morphological changes have started, then obviously they get separated and they start to share the different other areas also. And this way the organism, they get diversified and form different varieties, species of birds from the same common ancestors, because of all those natural reasons. Okay, then some of the species, they are selected by the nature, isn't that? Because all of the birds will not able to survive. If there is that species is not able to grab the food, obviously it will die. Okay, and if that nature due to suppose flood or drought or earthquake, if some species die due to the random selection, then also the organism will not able to flourish. Okay, so nature will select the species. And some of the scientists used to call it as the fitness of the organism, because whenever the bird will be fit, it will grab the food, it will win the race, and this organism will get the chance to reproduce. And Darwin used to call it as the reproductive fitness, because he said he knew that natural selection can be possible, that is responsible for evolution. Whenever that organism suppose is naturally they are selected, they are getting a chance to reproduce, and then only they will able to flourish, or they will able to increase their population. Another scientist, where the scientist name was Alfred Wallace and Darwin, Charles Darwin, they had the similar concepts on the natural selection theory. They said that both Alfred Wallace and Darwin said that this organism which can adapt better in their environment, they are selected by nature. Those organisms who are better adapted, they will flourish, isn't it? If you get a chance to survive, only you will get a chance, so that you can able to take the advantages, isn't it? Same thing is said by Wallace and Darwin also. What was that? Those organisms which are better adapted in their environment are selected by nature. Okay, only the organism will be selected by nature if they are better adapted in the environment. But later on, a number of scientists have disproved or criticized also this theory. But yes, to a certain extent, it was correct, because it's not like that always the predators, always the strongest animal will survive. It's not like that. It is just because of mutation. Later we know that mutation is the reason for the evolution of the species, or for the formation of different varieties of species. But at that period of time, it was said that yes, nature has to select some species, they are getting better adapted in the environment, then only it will be selected by the nature, and they will get to reproduce and better survive and form different varieties, different species of birds. So yes, that is the concept of natural selection, the reason for evolution of species given by the scientist Charles Darwin. So this was about the video. I hope you understand. We will meet in the next video. Thank you.